Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Tune to Linux. In this video I'm going to discuss and I'm going to show you how to install Puppet in Redhat Enterprise Linux server. Okay, so Puppet is a tool, it's a configuration management tool. It is very much popular nowadays and widely used, and it is available out there in puppet.com. If you just come to this link, from here you can download this tool. Okay, and here is the distribution, Linux distro. You can see this EL, rhel, centos, Scientific Linux, Oracle Linux, all supported, and also here you can see Ubuntu and SUSE Linux enterprise servers. So it is all supported in NIX-based system. So based on your requirement, which is suited for your environment, you can download and you can configure. So currently the Puppet is the latest version, which is released is 5.1, and it is available in this link. If you just come to product, and here you need to click Puppet Enterprise, and once you click on this Puppet Enterprise, it will ask you for your email ID. You don't have to worry about that. You don't need to pay. It is free. You just have to give your email ID. Once you have given your email ID, and you have to fill few tabs, for example your name and email ID and your cell number, right? So once you have given those information, you will have this page, and you can download the Puppet package as per your environment. So first one is about the Puppet Master, and second one is only the agent, and third one is the client tool. Okay, so I'm going to show you the installation part in this video, and I will going to have a different video which will cover, where I will going to cover the features about the Puppet, why actually we use Puppet, and what are those features we have in Puppet. So those are the features I'm going to tell you in my next video, and later more on Puppets. So for now, I have already downloaded the package for rhel 7, and I have saved that file in my rhel 7 server. Okay, so I'm running one virtual machine, and I can show you the virtual machine is this one. Let me log in. Okay, so this is my system. Let me open a terminal. And maximize it. Maximize the font a little bit. Okay. Right. So if I do host name ctl status, you can see my system name is puppet.tunetolinux.com, and it is a VM computer, and chassis is VM, and it is running Redhat Enterprise Linux Server 7.2 version, and this is the kernel version, and this is 64-bit architecture. Okay, so in order to install the latest version, which is 5.1, I have downloaded and kept it in this location. You can see Puppet Enterprise 2016 5.1 version for 64-bit servers. This is a latest version which is out there available in Puppet site. Okay, so this doesn't support lower version. For example, if you wanted to configure this Puppet on 6.2 or 6.5, it is not going to support. It is minimum supported by 6.7. If you are running distros rhel 6, centos 6, then you should have minimum 6.7 version to support this Puppet version. Okay, and in rhel 7 it is supported, so no need to worry whether you have 7.0 or 7.2. So it is all supported in this version. Okay, so the first step what I need to tell you is the host file. Okay, so I have Okay, I have not updated my host file, so let me update my host file. It is very important, otherwise your installation will going to fail. Okay, so my IP is for this system is 169.187. And your local host information you need to change like this, otherwise it will going to fail your installation. Local host, local domain, and local host. Right, so this is your /etc host file should be look like. And also if you have DNS configured and your IP is resolving through DNS, for example NS lookup, and if you are doing Puppet and it is resolving and the entry is with DNS, then not an issue. So for my system, I don't have configured the DNS, I don't have DNS servers available. That's why I'm just resolving this name locally, and I have updated this information in /etc file, /etc host file. Okay, so first step was there, and second step is you have to check whether your curl package is installed. It is already installed. And the other important thing is MySQL packages. So MySQL packages are not installed in my system, but no need to worry, because the new method which I'm going to show you, I'm going to follow in this video, will going to install this MySQL packages, and we don't need to install it now. But in earlier version of Puppet, we need to ensure that whether we have MySQL is installed and also Java is installed in your system. So let me just check whether Java is installed. Okay, 1 minute. Java is okay. OpenJDK is running, so not an issue. Let me clear the screen. And what else? Okay, so Iptables, there is some ports needs to be open. Now currently there are many I can see. Let me flush this. And if you are okay with that, and if you wanted to allow the port 3000, which is going to use by this web-based installation, it is required. I'll tell you why this 3000 port is used, and there are some other port which we have it. I will tell you each and every port information and what are those port used for. Those information I will give you later. So for now, in production environment, nobody used Iptables. I have not seen anyone in my career. In last 10 years, I have not seen in any production environment we use Iptables, because for all the production environment we would have our firewall. Okay, and firewall is already placed in environment, so we don't need to have a different kind of OS firewall. So that's why we don't use Iptables. And if you think it is okay to enable it, then you just have to allow the port 3000 for now to go with this installation. Right, so this 3000 port is required, and next thing is the package. That's it. And that package is I already downloaded, and I showed you that link from where you have to download this. If you can go to this location and you can download as per your distro. Okay, and once I have this file, let me unzip Puppet. Sorry, it is a tar file, so I was doing in a wrong way. So let me extract it. So to install your Puppet Master, you need to have minimum 1 GB of RAM in your system, and if you wanted to manage more than 1000 or minimum 1000 system, then 4 GB of RAM is recommended and 2 plus CPU is recommended for your system, right? So in default, this enterprise version which I'm going to install currently, it will going to support up to 10 nodes. You can add 10 Puppet agent in this system and you can manage it. And if you wanted to add more than 10 nodes, you need to purchase a license from Puppet. Okay, so and those options you would see after the installation, how you can purchase those license later. Okay, so for now, for this demo, it will going to support 10 nodes, so I think I have enough. So let me just show you that extract file here, and this is the file. Let me go inside this, and there is a file called installer, right? So let me run this file, installer, and here you can see there are two options. Puppet Enterprise offer two different methods of installation: guided install, recommended for beginners. The method will install and configure a temporary web service to work through the various configuration option. Not this method requires to able to access 3000 port in your system. Okay, so that's why you have to ensure. And there is one more method you can use, text mode. So for this demo, I am going to go with one, and you can see there is one directory created in this location, and there are some file copied under this location, right? And there are some packages going to install now. And you can see pre-builder, installer, and Puppet agent. There are three packages, 3 RPMs, which is around 30 MB is installing currently. Right, so here you can see the package installation is done, and there are some directories created, installer directory, and some files has been copied from this location to this. And here you can see there's a link given, and it is stuck here. So what you have to do from here, you don't break this session, otherwise your installation will fail. You just keep this session as it is like this, and you can just copy the link, copy link address, and I'll open a browser, one more browser, and make this font a little bigger. I think I have given the wrong password. Right, and you have to launch that link from your web interface, which is Firefox default in Redhat Enterprise Linux, and just copy that link here. And there is a default certificate which we have to add, otherwise it will not go further. Okay, so here you can see the session. Hi there, and there is a Puppet information. Welcome to Puppet Enterprise installation installer version, and this is the easiest way to get your Puppet Enterprise environment installed. And trust me, this is what these guys are saying, that this is the best. I mean, this way of installation your Puppet master is the best way of doing installation of your Puppet. Okay, so if you would like to go for some documentation, you can click on this link. It will walk you through your the Puppet sites, where you will have those documents, and also installation overview instruction. If you are not aware how to install, then there is an steps in this Puppet sites. You can go to that site and you can follow them. So for now, let's click on start, and here's one section. In first section, you can see this Puppet is going to install in this system, or you wanted to install this Puppet master in another system. Okay, so I'm going to install the system in this one only, so that's why I have checked this one, the default one, and I have to give the name for the system, which is a fully qualified domain name. So I'm just giving tune2linux.com, and the Puppet DNS alias, this uh, short name for my system, it's already taken default. And here is your PostgreSQL and Puppet DB host we're going to install, and here is your console admin server. So there are different types of roles we have. One is Puppet master, Puppet agent, and there is a cloud provisioning role, and also a console admin, right? So there are four roles which we have it. You can install all these roles in one single system if you would like, or if you wanted to share those roles between or among nodes, you can do that. You can install your Puppet master in one system, and you can install the default. When you install a Puppet master, it will also install Puppet agent, okay? But if you wanted to install this console admin in another system, you can do that. So for here, for now, I need to give a 8-character password, okay? So I have given the password here for this admin user, and I'll say submit query, and here it will give a brief information, confirm the plan, and this is the hostname and DNS aliases and database configuration information, and let's say continue. And here there is an overview given about the validation, which is check background your system and check whether everything is met to install your Puppet in your system, whether everything is available or not. So here there is a warning. You can see we have found 1 CPU and recommended is 2, okay? And also we found about 2 GB of RAM, which is at least recommended 4 GB. So initially I said that you should have you should have minimum 4 GB of RAM to run your Puppet master and 2+ core CPU. So this is what this information has given here. So for now, to go for this installation, I think it's okay. It will a little slow, but we would be okay to go with the installation. And also there is a warning message. You can see verify op var temp centrally not free space on the system, and it needs around 6 GB in opt, it says, and it recommended at least 100 GB for production environment. So this is a warning message which has given for your production environment. You better have 100 GB of space, and you should minimum have a 9 GB in your opt file system, okay? So this is for lab purpose, which I'm going to do here, so that's why I don't think this is required. So for this demo, I think the one which I have is enough. So I can ignore these messages for now, and I can say deploy now. Right, so when I say this deploy now, you can see there are 4 sections here: installing Puppet Enterprise, and also verifying Puppet Enterprise is functioning on this node, and third one is mcollective functioning, and other one is backup installing log file in this system. Okay, so background it is working, and if you just see this log, if you would like to see the logs, what is happening background, just click on log view, and here you can see there are multiple directories has been created, some files has been copied, and also there will be some packages which is going to install, which is required by this Puppet. So those operations are working background. So that is why I would say this is a pretty much easy way of install your Puppet master. You don't have to do much. You just have to select few options and say deploy. It will do everything in background. Okay, so now you can see there are some configuration modules has been installing for Puppet, and it is checking for the file temp file system, whether that has space or not, and is installing some modules. Okay, so this will going to take a little time. So currently it is running and installing all those components which is required by Puppet. So we have done with the installation here. The first steps, you can see install Puppet Enterprise Untitled Linux is completed, and now it is in second step. And if I just check the logs, and here you can see some processes running. And it is trying to check this location and testing the agent and retrieving those plugin information. And this will not going to take much time. Let's see. Okay, so here you can see our Puppet installation is completed successfully, and you can see all this green checkbox which is done. Let me just maximize this screen. Okay, so it is done. If you would still like to check the logs, if there is any error or something, you can just go ahead and check this log. Here you can see there's all informational logs, and regarding this, some files has been removed when it is done with the installation, and there is a file permission has been changed to 600, and those are the actions happen. So anyway, these logs you can check later. You can log into system and you can check later. So this is only for the time being when you do installation. While installation, you can check the live logs, so that if it is failed in some region, you can see where it got failed and what you need to do. Okay, so that is why we have this one, and it is very useful. Okay, so let's start using Puppet Enterprise. Let me click on that, and again it is asking me to accept some license and certificate. So let me just accept the certificate, and I will have now a console GUI window. So you might have remembered that I have given a password for admin user while installation. So that is a console which will going to pop up momentarily, and let me wait for it. It is still loading. Here we go. So here's the console for your Puppet Enterprise master server, and now you can log in with the user admin and the password which I have given as Redhat12, and it is asking whether I need to remember the password or not. Okay, so now it should, here you can see waiting for Puppet, and it is still loading. It is because of the memory which I am currently using is 2 GB in my system. That is the reason it is a little slow, and it is not recommended for your production environment. When you are using Puppet in your production environment, you should have minimum 4 GB. You can use more to increase your performance. So as per your environment, you can use, or you can increase the memory. So here is the dashboard. So it is totally different, as you might have seen other dashboard in older version. So it is not like that, it is totally different, and you can see those failures information is 0, corrective changes is 0. Okay, so here you can see the event log. Okay, just let me click on event log, and here you can see no event log if you wanted to see the report, and here you can see the report information. Currently nothing for my system, which is I have added. This is a master, Puppet master. Okay, so regarding the licensing, if you like I said you that for this Puppet master you can use up to 10 nodes. So here you can see 10 complementary node you can add. One I'm using and 9 is remaining. If you would like to add the license, if you wanted to add additional server more than 10, yeah, then you have to purchase for license. So there is a procedure you have to follow here. Okay, so there are options. Now you can see the first one is configuration, which I have showed you, and here it will show the configuration details, and the second tab will show the node details. Let me click on node, that is loading. Okay, so this is a configuration overview, this is node overview, this one your system, and if there is an system which is not classified by this Puppet master, it will show under this classification. Okay, you can add group here, all nodes information, PD infrastructure, and other details you can see here. Unassigned certificate. Okay, so here you can see unassigned certificate and how when you are going to install a Puppet agent. See here, this information is given. It is pretty easy. Adding nodes to Puppet master enterprise. Every node you wish to manage must have the Puppet enterprise agent installed. To install the agent on node on the same operating system, if it is same Redhat Linux system if you are using, and the architecture, then you can just run this command, right? It will look for the system and it will install the Puppet agent, and there is documentation link here, and there are some other options, right? So this is it, guys. For the installation, it is looks like the dashboard, how the new 5.1 version is looks like for the Puppet master. Okay, so please try your installation in your system in rhel 7. I would recommend to use rhel 7 instead CentOS, because in real-time scenario in production environment, customer never believe on open source tool or open source operating system, because there won't be any support. If you have any issues in OS level, you will not have support from CentOS, right? So that's why I would recommend you to install in Redhat servers, and you configure your Puppet master in your Redhat system, so that if any issues you face in your system, you can get and support from Redhat, right? So that's why I would recommend you to install your Puppet in Redhat system. For lab purpose, you can yeah, that's right. For lab purpose, you can still go ahead and you can install in your CentOS system, or you can also install in all Unix based system. It is support. You can install in Ubuntu, right? And you can also install, if you are more familiar with SUSE Linux, you can install in SUSE Linux. It supports, and also Puppet, one good thing is it support all Unix based operating system, which includes Linux. In Linux there are different types of distro, like Debian servers, Redhat Linux, CentOS, and most widely used SUSE Linux, and Solaris. Solaris, I think HPX is still not yet support, and X, and also Windows. You can also install Puppet agent in Windows servers, but I believe that Puppet master is not supported in Windows. But you can install your Puppet agent, and you can manage that Windows system from your Puppet master, right? So this is one small introduction about Puppet. In my next video, I'm going to show you the features about the Puppet, and what is the reason we prefer to use this configuration management tool. Okay, so it is basically in brief, if I say, we use to standardization or configuration setup, right? So we need to have a identical configuration in all our nodes, so that is why basically we use this Puppet. And there are many features we have it. I will talk about them later in this video. And if you feel this installation is quite tricky for you, and if you are not if you would not like to install this in your system, then there is one other way also of doing it. There is an already VM available. You just have to download that package, okay, and you have to just launch in your virtual machine, and you would be able to have a ready-made Puppet Master installed in that, and you can do R&D in that. So for that, I believe it is if I go to here, Puppet enterprise login, and okay, so I think this one, okay, I missed it. So explore the learning VM, I believe this is the one, and let me scroll down. Here you can see download learning VMs, so it is ready to get started. It will be loaded everything here, completed registration and learning VM, download zip file, and follow the steps for this one and launch it in your system. Okay, so and you can run this VM which is already loaded your Puppet Master in that VM itself. You just have to open that VM file in your VMware workstation, or if you are using other software, you can use that. So it is ready-made, so you can go ahead and use if you would would like to go for this installation, and if you are interested on that. Okay, so this is it for this video, guys. If you have any questions and query, please write those query in YouTube comment section. Okay, I will try to get back to you on that. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.